everyone, and welcome to a special interview. I'm here with the one and only Neil deGrasse Tyson. Thank you for joining me today.
I'm delighted.
Okay.
I was just wandering the streets and you grabbed me and pulled me in for this.
Yeah. I just said to you, hey, I know you. Can you please sit down?
Totally can do that.
Yeah, can you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's we were playing softball on the streets.
Softball.
Softball on the streets.
These are my cleats right here.
There we
See
go.
that? Yeah.
One of a kind.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, I have a couple of questions for you. And
Did you come up with these questions?
I came up with them
All right.
by my own.
All right.
They're very creative questions. Okay. What's your favorite?
I'll be the judge of whether they're creative.
Okay. You can rank them. Please rank them. Okay. What is your favorite scientifically accurate movie and why?
I have several. I would say at the top is The Martian.
The Martian.
The Martian is all the way. There's one scientific flaw that he needed in order to make the movie happen at all.
Like the one at the beginning with when he got hit because the wind.
Yeah. There's no wind. Yes, there are dust storms on Mars, but the air pressure is 1% that on Earth. So even fast-moving air would be like, can you like blow over a rocket by going, no. So he knew this, but he had to do that in order to leave Mark Watney behind so that he has a movie. But everything else was extraordinarily accurate. And in fact, I'd spoken with Andy Weir, who is the author of the book, and he paid me a very high compliment. He said when he was writing it, he imagined that I was looking over his shoulder. And he wanted to make sure all the calculations were right because he didn't want me tweeting about something that was wrong later on. So he has an engineering background turned novelist. So that's a potent combination to tell very good stories. After that, I'd say the 1990s film Deep Impact. That happened within a year or two of the movie Armageddon. Each of those had an asteroid coming to destroy Earth. Armageddon was Bruce Willis saving the world. That movie had the most scientific errors per minute of any movie ever made in the history of the universe.
But it did have Aerosmith.
Yeah, it had the...
I don't want to miss a thing.
Liv Tyler was in that. Steve Tyler's daughter from Aerosmith. But so with Deep Impact, the asteroid hits the ocean. Most of Earth's surface is ocean. Whereas in Armageddon, the asteroids were hitting like landmarks around the world.
Specific landmarks. Only these places are getting hit by asteroids.
These
Nowhere
asteroids
else.
had like GPS homing beacons. One decapitated the Chrysler building and went through the front door of Grand Central Terminal and hit the clock.
It knocked.
In the middle on the... So I would say the Martian and Deep Impact. And what I liked about The Martian is it codified what we already knew was true, that it codified the evolution of the word science from noun to verb.
Ooh.
Verb.
By the way, you know...
Because he said, I'm going to have to science the shit out of this. Oops, can I say that?
Yes, you can.
Okay, all right.
Well, freedom of speech here.
Yeah, you go.
You know how I know that fact, by the way?
Which fact?
About the scientifically accurate fact about the Martian?
Okay, why?
From you.
Oh, really?
Cinema Sins.
Oh, yeah,
Very
I did
good.
at CinemaSins.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that show.
Yeah,
You're fantastic
yeah.
on it.
And they're ruthless on CinemaSins.
They
don't let anything
ruthless.
by. If there's a calendar on the wall and the dates don't match the year that it's supposed to be portrayed in a period piece, they'll call it out. They'll say September 13th was a Monday, not a Thursday on this calendar in that year.
1996. Talking about TV shows, you host TV shows, but you also been on The Big Bang Theory.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah, can you talk about your experience acting on The Big Bang Theory?
Well, first, I'm not an actor, and I can't really act.
I think you could act.
I
fantastic.
had a short appearance in the 4th season. Then I was never invited back until like the last season. So I think I act well enough so that you can cut me some slack knowing I'm not an actor, that it's a cameo, right? If there's a cameo of someone who's not an actor, you let them not act, you give them some space because it's the novelty of them being on it in the first place. But over the years, I think my acting has gotten better.
I definitely agree.
I think so.
Between your two cameos.
Between those two cameos, I think they've gotten much better.
Way better.
And over that time, I've been in like 3 or 4 movies. Have you seen all my movies?
I see.
They're short. They're most recently, I don't mean to brag.
Don't brag away.
I don't mean to brag, but I had a cameo in Sharknado 6. Okay. I'll give you an autograph later.
Thank you.
I played Merlin, actually.
Merlin?
And this, I don't know if you're familiar with the Sharknado series.
I'll be honest, and I will say I'm not.
It's a tornado with sharks in it.
Wonderful.
Literally that.
What? How about the science of that?
Okay, right. I think there's a point where you don't go there. And in Sharknado 6, it opens up a portal through the space-time continuum, and it goes back to medieval times. But while doing so, shark DNA is cross-pollinated with dragon DNA. So you have shark, dragon, tornadoes. And I play Merlin, and I'm doing real science, but people think it's magic.
Well, Merlin has been used in the past as like the magic name.
Not only that, my first book was called Merlin's Tour of the Universe, and it was I had a column that I wrote, a Q&A column, under the pen name Merlin, and then I collected those together and made a book. Merlin's Tour of the Universe and Just Visiting This Planet was the sequel.
So you went full circle.
Yes.
There you go.
That's why I felt when Merlin was calling back to me for that. Yeah.
Merlin will always have a special place in your heart.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, this question, I haven't actually heard your answer to this one before specifically. What inspired you to become a scientist?
A couple of things, but I'd say the biggest force operating was a trip to the Hayden Planetarium when I was 9 years old in New York City. By the way, there's a Hayden Planetarium in Boston, same Hayden family, but the one in New York preceded it by decades. And so that's the one that, when you say Hayden Planetarium, that's usually the one people mean. So at first, I sit there in the chair, and the lights dim and the stars come out, and the universe chose me. I had no say in the matter. And so I knew, so age 9, I said, I like the universe, but I don't know anything about careers yet. It took me a couple of years to figure out, I want to do this for a living. I want to do this, I want to devote my life to this. And now I'm director of the Hayden Planetarium, which plays really well in a small town. Small town kid does good, comes home. In New York, no one cares. I'm director of the place that I came as a kid. Yeah, and your point is, so the story, I feel a duty, a sense of duty, when I see others come through, especially kids, that the experience we provide for them should have no less of an impact than the Hayden Planetarium of yesteryear, run by the educators and scientists that guided me.
Again, full circle with the planetarium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you got
exactly.
You went there and then
exactly.
Sorry. If people are watching this, 9-year-olds could be watching this.
We hope people are watching.
Yeah, we hope you're watching. But if you were to say anything to people who want to be a scientist, what would you say to them?
I would say never lose your curiosity. So something happens between childhood and adulthood where some fraction of us all, more than half, maybe even as high as 80%, just simply lose our curiosity. Maybe at some age it's just not cool, or you get distracted by other things, or hormones set in. I don't know. But as a kid, everything is amazing to you. There's a flower, there's a bee, there's a worm, there are clouds, there's, everything is something to explore, something to investigate. And as a scientist, we're basically kids, but with sort of better tools to investigate things we don't know. And so I still feel a very strong kid in me. And it manifests other ways. Everyone else is having a beer, I'm ordering a milkshake.
Me too.
Yeah, and I get to the bottom and I go...
And then they're like, stop.
Wait, in a paper straw, just let you know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Environmentally friendly.
Yeah. So, no, I'll make that noise because I want to get every last drop. If I'm in a board meeting, and I'm on some boards that are very important and do good work, not-for-profit boards, most boardrooms, this chair is very swivelly. I can't resist. I get in and I swivel around. It's very immature, but it's what I feel like doing. In the rain, I'll try to, and snow, I'll try to catch snowflakes and raindrops. I still want to do that. And yeah, it's kind of immature, but I don't care. I don't care what people think.
But you're having fun.
Me. Yes.
And that's all that matters.
Yes. And if any scientist if they're not having fun, I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Because, plus, being a scientist is not the act of discovery. You read about discoveries in papers and magazines, but that's the very end point of a long process of funding and and gut slogging through data and failed experiments, and the equipment doesn't work and you got to fix it, and students. And so science is a process, not unlike life. Life is a process. Life is a journey. Science is a journey. And if you don't like the journey, you won't like being a scientist.
Yeah.
So just try to keep the curiosity, and you'll be a scientist. And you can't. You won't even be able to not be a scientist, because the curiosity will drive you there.
Definitely, I agree. It's part about the journey, not the end, not the destination.
Correct.
Well, thank you for joining me here today.
Those are your questions?
Those are my questions.
Okay, well, cool.
Were they that hard?
Oh gosh.
We're sweating.
Man,
here.
last
Well,
time I do this interview.
Last time. I wouldn't want to come back here. Well, thank you.
So let me ask you. So
Yeah, ask me.
you want to be a filmmaker?
I want to be a filmmaker.
You already making films?
Yeah.
Yes. So in 10 years, what do you see your life being?
My life being? I want to have like a little studio and make like series to pitch to networks. And then like
For full-length movies or shorts?
I really like limited series. I think that's the future.
Oh, TV?
Yeah.
Yeah,
TV.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Like something like you hear about like Stranger Things is like, it's not a limited series, but they're like little.
It might have been
originally it was,
Right,
and
right.
then it got renewed.
Right.
But I like limited series because they're smaller. And they're bigger than movies, but smaller than a regular TV show.
And
they're way
you'd
more
have enough
character
latitude
development.
to develop characters in ways
Exactly.
that you can't do in a 90-minute or 2-hour program.
Yeah. Not everything is Avengers. And, how about the science there?
The Avengers, yeah. Well, I like the Tesseract. That's a 4-dimensional cube that they walk around with. I have one at home. It's not exactly legal.
Me too. Well, I have it with my box set of the Phase 1 movies.
Oh, I got you. No, this one was specially made. I got people.
You got people.
I got people.
Please be careful with
Yeah.
that. You don't want Loki to come
I
across.
made sure it is only in the right hands. I promise.
Okay, good.
So good. Well, so we'll look for you in 10 years.
Yeah. Last question. I really want to know this. What's your favorite star constellation?
My constellation would be Orion.
Orion.
Orion the Hunter. He sort of looks like what he's supposed to. He's got a belt and 2 stars that indicate shoulders and 2 stars that indicate kneecaps. He's got stars that indicate the sword that he carries. There's an arc off to his side, which is a shield. And illustrated on the sky, the stars fit with what they're supposed to be. Hardly any of the other 87 constellations look like what they're supposed to be drawn as.
But this one does.
This one does. And not only that, if you take Earth and you take Earth's equator and project it out onto the sky, that's called the celestial equator. So all the stars north of that equator sit above the northern hemisphere of the Earth. And the stars below the equator sit above the southern hemisphere. Orion straddles the northern and southern hemisphere. So everyone on Earth can see Orion.
And that's what makes it so beautiful.
All of this, and also stars are born in gas clouds. The closest stellar nursery to us is among the stars of the constellation Orion.
That's amazing.
So Orion is badass in that regard, in every way.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us. Would you like to say anything to the audience about yourself?
No, because it's not about me. I'm an educator, and educators, it should never be about them. It should be about others and their curiosity. Oh, here's something. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. In October, I have a new book coming out.
Ooh. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called Letters from an Astrophysicist.
Ooh.
And this is correspondence I've had with mostly with complete strangers who have written in search of answers to deep questions and issues that they confront. And not that I'm a psychologist or anything or have expertise in all the ways that you might expect or need, but what I do bring to the table is a cosmic perspective, and they know this. So they're coming to me as though I'm the one scientist they know or they know of, and I'm flattered that they feel comfortable writing to me with very personal questions about their lives and decisions they make, about parenting. 3 of the letters are from people in prison, who one of them has 2 kids who are teenagers, and he's in prison for 7 years, and he's going to miss the teenage time of their kids. And he wanted to know what I could do for his kids, because he knows that they're interested in the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and math. And if I do something for them, they will then know that he still cares about them, that he put in the effort to find me. This is the kind of stuff. So yes, I think a cosmic perspective can illuminate certain decision-making pathways. We'd go this way instead of that because there's a bigger story to be told and a bigger message to be delivered. So letters from an astrophysicist, about 101 letters.
Well, check that out in October. Thank you, Neil, for being here.
All right, excellent.
And thank you for watching this video. Subscribe down there and like, comment, and thank you once again.
All right.
Have a great day, everyone.